while dashing through the snow.
In a one-horse open sleigh,
O'er the fields we go,
laughing
laughing
all
all
the
the
way.
way.
Ah,
Hi, and
welcome
giggles.
everybody. This is our Christmas special,
Yes, I'm Jules.
and I am Kev. So this is our Christmas special, and we had some technical difficulties, so that's why we are late. This is episode 8.
8,
This is
yes.
episode 8, and so we have posted some other little things that we're
Yes, you
doing.
have Kev's encouraging word.
Kev's encouraging word. I haven't uploaded it to podcast, Spotify, or anything
Okay.
yet, but right now it is on our Facebook group page, Scripts and Giggles, and it's also on Instagram. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Uh, little segments between. We try to keep them between 3 to 10 minutes,
Mhm.
and just it's a little encouraging word. And Jules is going to do her Jules gems,
Jules Gems.
and so she's going to come out with that, and just little different things where we're trying to
Trying to
just
incorporate in the
and yeah, just trying to encourage everybody.
yeah.
And
Wait, Kev, I need to take a picture.
yes, we gotta take a picture of each other. Yeah. Oh, there you are. All right. So
Segway.
we are segueing into today's topic, which
And
is
should churches take pictures of people in worship and prayer and post them on social media?
right. So to some, they might be like, "This is no big deal.
Right?
It don't bother," but others, it does bother them. It can be they might feel it's an invasion of privacy. Now, how would that be an invasion of privacy? Jules?
Um, from what I gathered from some people online, like it's a private moment
Mhm.
and it shouldn't be captured on film. I was at a church where before I even really thought about any of it or knew many people were doing it yet, the pastor had said, and I tried to get in touch with him to get a quote or something from him, but I didn't get that back in time. But he said in church one time, that we're not gonna take pictures of people in moments where they're crying and snotting and worshiping, and that it shouldn't be captured on film, that that's a private moment. And I was like, "Oh, okay." But then I've been to other churches where they do take pictures, and I'm gonna flash it up here, but there's a picture of me in church with one of my sons, and I was praying in tongues, and I was crying, and somebody caught that on film, and part of me thinks, that was a private moment, but another part of me, that's a precious, precious moment for me to have now,
Mhm.
to look
Yes.
back on.
Yeah.
So, I'm not really sure how I feel about it because I like it, but I understand why some wouldn't too.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave my comment for after we read some of the other people's comments,
Okay.
and then I'll share my
Your thoughts?
thoughts and views
Okay.
on it. Again, we wanna say thank you for your love and support. Of course, this is our, Christmas week podcast, and we wanna wish everybody safe
Very Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas and probably Happy New Year
Yep.
as well, because 'cause we'll probably kick off the next couple weeks,
Yeah.
and just to spend time with our family and our loved ones and our friends, and
Mhm. But keep watch for Kev's encouraging word and Jules' gems because
yes.
those will be out in the
Yeah. Yeah,
meantime
we can do
until
that.
we get another episode 9 out.
Correct.
But we also wanted to do the photo thing in church. It's something that we had talked about and I've wondered about other people's opinions. But Christmas is a photo taking time of year.
Correct.
We get in our dress clothes and the best clothes we have, and we go to church and we celebrate the birth of Christ. And we're taking pictures, we're taking family pictures because everyone's together. And so we thought this would be a good topic to discuss today in light of picture season.
Yes, because there are gonna be many Julie just said many pictures being taken in church, and also a lot of church services are recorded.
Right.
And so not only is it about the pictures being taken, it's also about just church service as a whole of
Mhm.
it being recorded and aired. And we would love to hear your comment on this as well. So if you leave your comments on whatever platform you're listening to us or
Mhm.
watching us, and leave your comments of what you think. Is it a big deal? Or maybe you think, "Oh, I don't care."
Maybe it's no big deal.
No big deal, but we like to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. And
Yeah.
maybe you might have a story you would like to share of something or embarrassing moment or something funny that could have happened being recorded or, something strange
Mm.
like a stealing cow could have felt. Hopefully not, or, Christ falling off the cross. If you ever,
Oh my goodness.
well, I'm just saying those things happen.
Right.
I'm not making, but crucifixes, I've watched them. They fell off walls and
Yeah.
stuff like
Because he's
that.
not still hanging there.
Well, he's not hanging there. But, somebody might have upset the, communion plate, and that could have been recorded.
I once thought a bobby pin fell out of my hair, and over here, it just kinda made a "zzz" noise, and fell, and I thought it was my bobby pin. I went to get it, and it was a bee in my hair.
Oh my goodness.
Church service going on, and I'm like
Oh, I would have been freaking
I
out
jumped
because
up in the aisle, and I'm trying to get it out, and some lady behind me saw what happened and followed me out and helped me get it out of my hair, but
yeah, because 'cause I'm allergic to bees. I don't even know what the term is for bee phobia, but I definitely got that because
yeah.
I am oh my goodness, I had a traumatic experience as a child. Make a long story short, my dad, my brother, and I went hunting. We finished hunting, we didn't get nothing, and I was younger and wanted to shoot my gun, so we shot it, like, up into the woods at, like, I don't know, an old tree branch or something. Excuse me, and my brother and I was walking up to see if we hit it, and we stepped on a yellow jacket. And, oh my god, they came out and warmed us, and I can't even remember how many times I got stung, but, yeah, so I'm very afraid and allergic to, so big man that I am, anytime a bee gets in the house, I have to get my wife to kill it. So, I'm not real much of a man when it comes to that, but,
When he first told me this story, he told me about he was at a Burger King drive-thru with a friend,
oh, yeah,
and a
when
bee flew in the car, and you did what?
I scream like a Girl Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad because I can't tell you the fear and the panic that hit. It's just
Imagine.
instant, like, panic attack.
Yeah,
It's just
anybody that has a fear of anything
yeah,
can
exactly, like,
probably relate.
arachnophobia, people's afraid I once and maybe if anybody's listening to this can Google it because I didn't believe it either until I Googled there's actually a fear of people with bananas. People fear bananas.
Okay, they fear bananas. They don't fear people with bananas.
No, they
They
fear the banana. It's I can't remember the term, but it is people have a fear of bananas. There's a lot of different fears, and I don't mean now to us, that might be
funny.
funny, but if anybody is suffering from that, I
Right.
wanna make
Light of it.
light of it, I would actually like to talk to someone and what is it about
The banana that scares
that
them.
scares them? Like, even some people has a phobia with anything with holes in it
Yeah.
'cause they're afraid that things can come crawling up out of them
Mm.
and
I can kinda
everything,
get that.
and some people are afraid to even get their picture taken.
Really?
So, yeah, they don't like having their picture photographed, so we are getting back into the topic. So, should services be photographed or people in church services, or even I'm gonna throw it in of the service being even recorded?
So, I think that it's a big difference between the service being recorded and photographed. Um, I think COVID started a lot of services being recorded and broadcast live on Facebook or another avenue, YouTube or whatever, because people weren't going to church. So, it helped for them to be able to still participate in the service. And I think that's different, and a lot of people that commented on the question on Facebook didn't have a problem with that, with the service being recorded, from back behind. I think the issue might lie with just personal pictures being taken and and
Is
that's where I can see a little more.
is it mainly when people are worshiping or at the altar?
Right, I'm talking about at the altar, ugly crying,
Okay.
worshiping, maybe down at the altar
Yeah.
crying. It's those kinda things that I'm
The
thinking.
intimate
Right, the intimate moments,
moments,
should they be.
should they be recorded?
But I like this one comment by
Yeah.
my friend Jess. She said, "I thought about this today while I was worshiping in church this morning and saw the camera. I think my viewpoint is if one person saw me in a posted photo, even when I was ugly, crying, and singing, and they thought, 'Hey, look at Jess. I want that in my life too,' and turned to Jesus or even just attended the service because they saw a powerful photo, then I'm all for it. But I definitely see the personal side of it too. Split decision, but more on the side of go ahead and snap me with my hands raised in a hallelujah."
So, yeah, so she doesn't have a problem with it.
No.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah. And she can see both sides, so it's a little bit of a split decision on that, like you said. But if it's going to be a witness to someone, and like me with my son, that was a tender moment. And I've seen other pictures because my sons, the church they go to, they do take photos. And I have a message here from their pastor. I asked him for his comments on it, and he said that it was okay to use that on the podcast. And I enjoy seeing my sons in worship, knowing that they're there loving Jesus and have their hands raised or just participating. It does my heart good to see that. And if maybe some of their peers see that and think, "Oh, wow, Trevor and Dylan are getting into it like that and really feel that way about God, maybe I should check it out," you
yeah.
know?
Yes, I can see I like I said, I'm just trying to save my comment for the end, so,
Well, you can read some of these others.
yes. So Diana said, "I think the church should let people know they are on camera. If they don't want on camera, they can move."
I read an article when I was doing research for this podcast that said that it should be probably posted in the church or somehow to let everyone know that they do this during service. And if they don't want their photo taken or they don't mind it taken but don't want it put on social media, they need to let the church know so that the church can, hold back from doing that. Um,
I agree with that.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and
And I can
even
understand that, just letting people know because,
right,
you know, you never know what you're going to get. Who you're sitting next to could be someone that has moved far away from a dangerous situation, a situation of abuse or something,
right,
and they're safe where they're at, but once that picture gets
right.
posted on social media, it might lead their abuser back to them.
Yeah, I really highly agree with Diana. I do think, well, I think it also has to do with exposure, even though,
Mhm.
no pun intended, since we're talking about cameras and
Yeah.
stuff. But, full disclosure, it's not like the churches hide anything from anybody and stuff, but exactly for even the reasons that you just said,
Mhm.
very good reasons. And, you wanna remain if you're in danger or something like that, you definitely wanna and if you're at a church and the church posts it, the person can look up and see the location of the church and
And come find you on Sunday, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So I
So
think churches need to be very protective of their people,
absolutely.
and although I'm leaning and have leaned toward, that I think it's okay. I also think that they should let people know ahead of time that, "Hey, we do this. If you don't want your picture posted anywhere, then let me know.
Right.
Sign this or whatever so that we know who not to post."
And, like, I could be wrong, but I thought a lot of churches have certain you gotta stop to think of the angle of a camera. I don't know, like I
Mhm,
said, maybe these big, mega churches and bigger churches can span,
mhm.
but when, what Diana said, if you don't wanna be then you can move.
To where the camera's not
Maybe the
recording.
camera's not recording, so you won't be
Yeah,
or maybe churches can have a section that's non,
there you go.
filmable or,
Right?
that's gonna be angled at a certain point. part
Right, and
of
if
the
there's a
congregation,
photographer, they know not to get the people
not
in
to get
that
the
area.
people over here in that area. Then they can have a sign or something, non-recording or whatever,
Right,
non-filming area or
right.
something. And that way people can, wanna you can choose to sit there. Um,
Oh, Sonia.
Sonia. She
Go
says,
ahead.
"I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it, but I agree that it should be taken from behind." So, as we're already seeing just by a few comments, there's different opinions.
Mhm.
Um, so Sonia believes it should be taken from behind, and I obviously am assuming that she doesn't agree then from
Getting the
shots
cry
and crying and everything like
face.
that. So that's an interesting take as well.
We had several people that said only from behind, or only in a group shot. Uh, Brenda said a group shot only, unless the person or people have given consent to having
Mhm.
their picture posted on any media site. Now, the Documento, I know him from Oak Hill, and he said as a professional videographer, which he is, that that films for New York companies, and legally speaking, he said not without their permission, which can include several notices posted about entrances throughout the building, notifying them that this area may be video made public and your continued presence means you are granting the facility the right to record and make a video public. So it's kind of like what you were saying with having signs posted saying that, that it's happening, but maybe have a little section where it's not happening so that the church knows, okay, these people don't want to necessarily be posted on social media.
Right, now here's the thing, when a lot of people saying not without their consent, right here, he's saying not without their permission. So, what does that
Same thing.
no, 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 but what does that mean? Does that mean that everybody in the congregation has to sign a consent form?
No, I think it's just like he's saying, post it that it's happening. And if they don't want it to happen, they need to let somebody know because just by being there, you're agreeing to it. Because they said, this area's video may be public and your continued presence means you're granting the facility
Oh,
or
okay, I
facility owner
okay,
the right to record and make the video public.
okay.
So, but
So
if we had a section, like you said, where, these 2 rows of people don't want to be in it, and this isn't where the video's capturing anyway, then they also know not to take pictures.
well, then that leads me to what happens if you go into a church and nothing's posted, they don't say anything, and it
Then
is
they could
church.
probably get in trouble if they posted somebody that didn't.
That's what I'm
Because I
wondering.
know, like, if there's families that foster, they're not allowed to post their pictures on anything while they're in foster care. They have you ever seen a family picture and one kid has a sticker over his face or something? That's because he's a foster child or she. So, I mean, it could be a case even in a church where there's
Oh,
a
see
family that's fostering and those shouldn't be put on social media. Like I said, the abuse, and their picture gets on there and their abuser finds where they're at. There's some cases where I think the church needs to really think about this and be aware of these things before they start doing it so that they don't get themselves into trouble with
and maybe a lot of churches and pastors and this, staff maybe haven't I don't know, maybe
probably
haven't
haven't
even
even thought
thought
about
about
it.
it because like you said, during COVID, it was pretty much that we were, kind of not necessarily forced I don't wanna say forced into it, but it was more or less like our only option
Right.
because some churches was closed and
Mhm.
different things, so, how else do we, still minister to people and
Mhm.
reach people and encourage them and
Or, and it helps with shut-ins, it helps
exactly,
with
yeah,
anybody that's sick that day and just can't make it into church or
right.
doesn't wanna go in and get anybody
Yeah,
else sick, they can still watch it from home, and I
yeah.
love that
Oh,
aspect
yeah,
to be able to
absolutely.
still hear the worship and hear the message. I know at one of the churches we attend, uh, when it gets to the point where we're having prayer, they end the live feed.
Yes,
So,
yes.
the pastor will say, "Thank you for those who are watching. We're gonna end the live feed now and go into prayer," and then we, you know, th finish the service that way. Um, You wanna read some more comments before I read the one from Pastor Jay?
Yeah, I was looking at, that's Effie, correct?
Mhm.
Effie says, "Only during special
Me too.
events and with permission, especially if the photo has children in frame. There have been time a situation moved me so much that I would take a photo, but only send it to the one in the photo. I only shared one in the private ladies' prayer group once, but found out much later that it offended her spouse. We talked, and after he understood how much the photo had touched and moved my spirit, he wasn't upset. When I offered to delete the photo, he said it wasn't necessary, but I would never share it in a public place. And photos of children should never be shared publicly online. Too many ways for creeps to use them. And
I
you know
agree.
what, Effie, I agree with you on that too.
Mhm.
So mainly what we're looking at is a lot of there should be boundaries. That's the number one
Mhm.
boundary. There should be
Some safety nets in place.
that's what I meant. Yes. And I as Effie said, and I think you just shared too, was, with you and your son and somebody did they send the picture to you, did you say?
It was posted on the Facebook page
It was
of the
posted on
church.
Facebook page. But I do like what Effie says is because if you're taking a picture of somebody private and everything, then either, send it to them like she said, or ask if it can be posted.
Right,
Yes,
right.
I definitely ask for permission. So, yeah, Effie, thank you for sharing that. I really like that. Really like your view on that. Did
Hmm.
you have someone else?
We had a couple that said, they didn't think that it was something that should be done, that it's personal and private. Brenda and Denny said that they believe it's our personal time in the Lord's house. For those struggling, they don't need an audience. They need their church family and God. So I get that. I understand that. And there was a couple, like Krista said, I think it depends on the post. And Angela said, I guess it depends on why they're posting it. Also, some people may perform if they know they are being photographed, while others who normally worship may hold back. Definitely should be taken from the back of the church. So what do you
Okay.
think about that?
Well,
Like somebody performing for the camera?
that is what I was going to say for the end for my comment.
Okay. Well, we can wait if you want to.
Yes, I want to read. I have to read Sherry. Um, is Sherry correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want to make sure. I I love it. Sherry, already before I even read it, I love you, honey.
Yeah, you would love
You
Sherry.
know, if it's a crowd shot from the back of the room, I think. But I feel like worship is such a personal thing. I wouldn't want a big old shot of me, red face, all scrunched up, snot and tears dripping, and arms lifted in praise with my flabby underarms, wings a flapping. I really get into worship. Sherry,
She does.
I do too. But I just that is so cute and so funny. But yes, you know, a lot of people there's a lot of reason people don't want film. And it could be a lot of people, very self-conscious about
Mhm.
themselves and how they look and different things. And then let me let's just say this, and this is maybe lead into my overall views and comment, is people on well, let me just say in the world,
Mm.
but on internet can be very mean and harsh.
Yes, I can.
And here it is that there can be people going in, they're worshiping God, they're having their intimate moment, they're in a very vulnerable place. A lot of is praying for, healings, financial needs,
Mhm.
um, but for lost children, for family members that can be, addicts. I mean,
Mhm.
so these are very deep personal issues,
Mhm.
and they are sharing them with a God that they believe, of course, hears and answers prayers
Right,
and things. So
as we do.
right, and so a lot of people don't, for those even reasons, don't wanna be filmed, and I think so my views are that I think it should be as, I was looking back here for the I like what, Krista says, I think it depends on the purpose of the post. There's another one you read too that I wanted to you read it too, who it is. about if it was for showing off or something like that. What was it?
Okay, that was Angie. I guess it depends on why they're posting it. Also, some people may perform if
That's
they
it.
know they're being photographed, while others who normally worship may hold back.
Right.
Definitely should be taken from the back of the church.
So that's what brings me to it's just like when the internet first came out, and then we see what it's become today. Can you find evil on the internet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Can you also find good on the internet?
Yeah.
Correct. So my view is of church services, taking pictures and videos and things, can it be used for good
Of course.
and can it be used for bad?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think it should be the motive
Mhm.
of it, of why and the purpose behind of why something is specifically being posted. Because here's the other thing, Paul tells the Corinthians, let everything be done in order.
Mhm.
And also when he's talking about the spiritual gifts,
Right?
and he says, if people come in and you're all gibbering and speaking in tongues and throwing a fit and having a
Nobody else can
party, we
understand.
also have to look at even the book of Acts. A lot of them thought that they was drunk.
Right.
So what I'm saying is the Bible also tells us don't let your good be spoken evil of.
Right.
Now that doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to stop people from speaking evil
Right.
about you. But what is the purpose and the motive behind? And if we are filming certain intimate moments of people, and let's say it could be even somebody really getting into worship, and that's what I'm saying. Let's look at the other side, not necessarily trying everything at the altar, but let's say you are, very excited, and let's say you're, some people shout, some people
Mhm.
jump up and down, you know, and if that is posted, then people be, oh, there's that fanatic, there's that,
Mhm.
there's that freak, and it could give a bad look on the church to be like, see, churches are just a bunch of fool a bunch of freaks
Mhm.
and a bunch of emotionalism.
Mhm. Like the Calvinists like to
So
say.
that's why we have to be very delicate because when things is being posted, even in delicate moments, like you was even talking about with you and your son
Mhm.
and others in the comments have shared, then your intimate moment is something that can be very, um, very life changing even
Mhm.
if it's posted. And listen, we've all heard this saying, it takes 1,000 data boys or data girls to cover one, you're worthless
Right.
or you're a loser.
Right.
It takes 1,000 good comments to cover one bad comment. So if you start getting all these negative comments, and let me tell you, we all know the enemy
Mhm.
will use that to steal your victory, to steal your joy, to steal
Right.
your experience with God,
Right.
to make you feel discouraged and everything. So that's what I'm saying. I think that it needs to be we need to be cautious with it.
Mhm.
Uh, benefits is absolutely, like we talked about already, is people that are shut in. If you can't make it out, if roads are bad, different things like that, people that's in hospitals, yes, it can be used for good.
Right.
But as we've already discussed in, today's podcast, is I do think, yes, there needs to be boundaries, there needs to be limitation, there definitely needs to be consent in whatever way that
In whatever way that looks like for your church.
posted videos in place, you could be recorded, whatever.
Right?
But I do think the church needs to take some of these things seriously of issues that we've already talked about here today.
I'm gonna read, um, a pastor's response to me from Pastor Jay. I asked him about it and knowing that their church does take pictures, and I hold Pastor Jay in very high esteem, is through and through who he is says he is, and I love going to their church when we're in town. His response was, "Good morning," and absolutely, meaning he would give his opinion. In my opinion, there's nothing more beautiful than people authentically worshiping the Lord in a public place or setting. What a testimony to the Lord. The three main verses that come to mind are Revelation 12:11, by the word of our testimony, Worship is a testimony to others of our love to God. Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine. Jesus called us to stand out, be the light of what authentic worship is. And 1 Corinthians 14:40. Let all things be done decently and in order. Seeing that every picture is worth 1,000 words, it's important that we capture and post pictures that one, glorify God, and two, share our authentic relationship in worship and fellowship with God and others. Although we do take pictures, it is important that nothing is posted without permission,
Mhm.
and those that have expressed certain opinions have been honored not to be photographed. We've never had any more than a couple that have expressed their discomfort in this ministry. And spending money on quality technology to where we can capture great pictures, capturing moments without invading someone's personal space is also important. Our focus in sharing pictures is we do it with certain criteria of expectation without exploiting people's intimate moments with God. Again, we've made a practice that if the picture is within question, we get permission. One of the most powerful ways of sharing the gospel is by sharing our devotion and participation in worship because we've been changed. Hope that helps as to our viewpoints. Have a great weekend. See, I like that. They do the permission thing, and if anyone doesn't want photographed, and it sounds like too they have certain rules to abide by, is the photographers that are in their ministry, that they have certain rules that they don't invade someone's personal space or moment with God, you know?
Mm. So they don't. That's
No.
what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah, that,
They don't just walk up and get right in somebody's
right,
face. Yeah, it's from
right.
a distance and
Yeah. So, really, there isn't any clear-cut answer because
no.
as we see, there's good and bad.
Right.
I think our conclusion that we can come to, though, definitely is there needs to be definitely boundaries, there needs to be parameters that there needs to be definitely consent
Right.
in whatever way, again, that is presented. But, yeah, it's just, we're in a modern age now, and, the other downside could be that people can look at, um, I'll just stay home. I don't need to go to church anymore."
Mm, I can
It's like
just
I
watch it.
can just watch it, in my pajamas on a Sunday morning and different things. The problem with that, and there's many scriptures against that, and, uh,
That you need to fellowship.
yeah, I'm trying to
And
think.
there's those that can't, they're
Oh,
homebound for
yeah,
whatever reason and can't, and that's a different story.
but I think even as Christians, we can just become lazy and just be like, "Okay, I don't feel like getting ready and getting all dolled
And
up."
I've been there.
Yeah, and we can just be like, we can just sit home and, eat our little snacks and watch church service.
Yeah.
But there is a purpose, and, why right now I can't think of the scripture, and it's a very common scripture, I believe it's in Corinthians. Oh my goodness, can you believe that?
Mm. Yes, I can.
About, "Oh, forsake not the assemblies of yourselves together." A lot of people even say this to me too, "Oh, you don't need to go to church." So since we're talking about this, I'm gonna throw it in here.
Okay.
I don't need to go to church. You know, Christ is in us, and we are the church, and th that is true,
Mhm.
but the purpose and reason that we come to church is because we become a unified body. We are the
Mhm.
body of Christ.
Mhm.
Now, so if your body is your body complete, or is your arm laying somewhere and your head somewhere and
Right, I hope it's all
it's all
together.
together?
Yeah.
And it works great when it's
Right.
all together, right?
Right.
Now, if you lose your head,
Yeah.
then things aren't gonna work, and I'm even talking even metaphorically lose your
Right.
head, like, you get upset or something, and it's like, "Oh, okay." So, God gave each of us a spiritual gift.
Mhm.
They're listed in Ephesians, First Corinthians, and I know there's another that lists the spiritual gift, the gifts that he gave them to the church.
Right.
Okay, so, I'm saying so a lot too.
You are.
when we come together or when we miss, Julie has special gifts that God's given her. If Julie misses church, and it's all right to miss, of course,
Mhm.
if you have an issue, but if Julie misses month, now the body, the church body, is not benefiting from the gifts, talents, skills, and abilities that God has blessed you with
Mm.
to help edify the church. That's what Ephesians says, is for the purpose of edifying the church. We are to encourage and edify and lift up each other.
Mhm.
So when we do not go to church, we are, I'm going to say it, withholding a
Mm.
blessing from someone else because he has given us those gifts for the purpose of edification and building up and encouraging each other. So when people's like, I don't need to go to church, you do. You do need to go to church. God has given you that gift for a reason. And listen, any gift, I'm going to say it too. If it's singing, if it's, I'm trying,
Teaching.
teaching, all every gift can be perverted.
Right.
There's many wonderful people that has wonderful singing voices,
But they don't use them for God.
but just listen to their music today.
Mhm.
Okay. And there's wonderful teachers, but I'm going to say it too. I don't care. Most of our modern colleges, a lot of those teachers probably shouldn't be teaching
Right.
because they are not teaching for one, the truth, and they are leading a lot of people astray.
Yeah.
So any gift that God has given, of course, there's a counterfeit from the enemy
Right.
and he wants to pervert the gift. So all this ties in and with, we're talking about filming and different things in church. But again, if you do have a fear or phobia of whatever, or you're insecure of your body and you're like, well, if that church is filming or taking pictures, I'm not going to go to that church. Or if all the churches in my neighborhood or community, if they're video, then I'm just going to stay home. I would just please challenge you not to do that.
There
Pray.
are places you can sit and not be
Yes, pray
filmed.
about it because listen, God has given you that gift to help others.
Right. And like Pastor Jay said, you can let them know. If you see that their church is taking pictures, just kindly ask someone afterwards, if you have any pictures of me, I'd rather them not be posted publicly.
Exactly. And maybe listen, Julie and I are excuse me, doing this podcast to try to bring awareness to it, but you might be the one that brings awareness in your church. And you might, be hearing this podcast and be
Mhm.
like, you know what? I had some issues in my church and maybe maybe we need to talk, the pastor and I or the staff or board or whatever need to talk about some boundaries and
Mhm.
things because, there could be people not coming because they have insecurity
Right.
or because of other reasons that we said,
Right.
you know, foster children. There could be privacy issues of
Mhm.
being filmed.
Right. Being publicly posted.
And so you could be the one that could bring this to your church or
The awareness.
the
Yes.
awareness and, of course, please be respectful when you're talking to your pastor.
Right.
Don't be
And
going in and be like,
hey, you have to stop doing this because of
yeah,
this. But
you're a
no, we're not
sinner,
saying that they have to stop doing it. Just, be aware of some of the issues that might be why people don't want their picture taken. But like I said, I love seeing pictures posted on that church's website or Facebook page of my sons in worship. And it's not all the time, they just different pictures of different people all the time and different groups of people worshiping. But when I see a picture and one of my sons pop up and they've got a hand lifted
Oh,
or they're praying or something,
yeah.
it blesses my heart to see, and those are the ones that I save to my phone so I can look back on that and think, "It's my kid."
See, I think that yeah, I think my view too is of those kind of worship,
Mhm,
but when like we come from Pentecostal and charismatic,
mhm,
you know, background. And so some of us and well, I think there's some other churches, Baptists can get, pretty enthusiastic
mm,
in their worship service. I don't know if some of that should be.
right,
I'm just saying for me. But for the like you're saying, the lifting of the hand, even tears, people's
Mhm,
hands are raised and just tears streaming down
mhm.
and everything. There's a picture was it the pastor that said, "Picture's worth 1,000 words?" Yeah, Pastor Jay, and it's true. And those kind of, you know, can be very inspiring to people, but if there's some of us like to dance,
Right,
and I don't think some within the world or secular world would understand.
right, so you wanna
So they would kinda, again, look at us as freaks and just so
right,
we
but,
have to be
I'm okay being a freak for Jesus.
yes, but also, I guess for me, it's I don't care what people think. I don't,
Right,
but others might care, and we don't want our, again, good spoken evil of.
right.
And if people doesn't understand things sometimes, they make fun of
Make
it.
up their own
They make up
thing.
their own thing.
Yeah.
Listen, we already are called by some, with, we believe in the spiritual gifts and
Mhm.
operation in the church, and we're already labeled by
Right,
some as being demonic and everything like
and
that. So
crazy.
and crazy. And so, you know, again, not to go too deep or
I
any
think it all boils down to enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your
yes.
Christmas service, and if you're one of the ones that would prefer your picture not taken in a church that takes pictures, just tell them. Just tell who tell the photographer or somebody back in the sound system, ask them, running the sound system to tell whoever that you would prefer not to, or tell the pastor. Usually pastors are very busy though on Sunday mornings before service, so it'd probably be best to find someone that is within the staff and just let them know, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to celebrate the birth of Christ, but I don't necessarily wanna be on film. Where's the best place for me to sit and not have that happen?"
Right,
And
and if you don't want to get your picture taken, don't be photobombing other people,
right, don't
what I
be
mean?
jumping back
Jumping
there.
back behind 'em and doing stuff, or walking behind somebody if you see somebody taking pictures or
Right.
walking in front of somebody, be
Just wait until it's
respectful,
over,
wait
yeah.
until it's over, take pictures with your family and friends and stuff like that, that Anybody else that you don't, you might have to have them sign a consent form.
Right. Don't
That
go taking pictures of strangers
of
all over the
strangers
place.
all over the place and yeah. But we, love you all, wish you a happy and safe Christmas,
And probably New Year.
and I'm gonna say happy holidays to others that are
Mhm.
celebrating at this time, other holidays. But we as Christians, we definitely celebrate, the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And yes, we know he wasn't born on December 25th. So all those that are already thinking about writing comments to us, please do not do that. We know.
And for those who don't know, do you know Winnie? Do you know the date?
The date?
Mhm.
I don't
They can almost track it to the
approximately
date and time.
really the date I've read and researched approximately around. I can tell you it was not a cold month.
No, and it might blow your mind a little bit.
Might be something coming up on a future podcast. So
September 11th is Jesus' birthday.
no,
Yeah.
I did not hear that one.
Mhm,
I knew it was in warmer climate because
mhm,
of course there was shepherds abiding in the field.
mhm.
They're not gonna be out there in the middle of winter
No.
abiding in the field. So tended to their sheep. So that's just
Little
a
nugget.
little
We'll talk
nugget.
about that another time. You
Yeah.
guys have a great Christmas
Happy New
and Happy New
Year.
Year,
Get out there and make everything jolly and bright.
and feel free to share your holiday pictures with us on the Facebook group.
Yes, we'd again love to hear from you. Hey, leave if you wanna leave us a story of a childhood, memory of Christmas, we'd love to hear from that.
And bring it on.
Bring it on. If you have any since we're talking about the pictures in church and stuff, if you have any even funny things that could have been
Yes.
happened that was filmed or somebody taking a picture of, hey, feel free to share that. You can get on our Facebook groups and your comments and even funny pictures. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
Everybody have a safe, happy, Merry Christmas. And Jesus is the reason for the season. And
For
until
every
for
season.
every season. That's right. And until next time, as always, be blessed.
And encouraged.
We love you all.